Imagine a sleek, supersonic marvel with an intriguing nickname, the Duckling, but don't let its cute name fool you. The Sukhoi Su-34 is much more than meets the eye. With its flattened fuselage, nose, and enormous capabilities, this fourth-generation tactical bomber takes to the skies like a predator on a mission. But what makes it truly extraordinary is the aerial dance it does. Join us on a journey to witness the unassuming yet awe-inspiring Su-34 in action. The Russian Air Force has just received a new set of fighter bombers, called Su-34 from a company called United Aircraft Corporation. These planes are pretty special because they can both fight other planes and drop bombs. On the ground, the company that made them is part of a big Russian tech group called Rostec. The news about the new planes came out on June 1. These Su-34 planes are made at a place called SUKHOI Novosibirsk Aviation Plant. Before giving them to the Air Force, they tested these planes on the ground and while flying. Once the tests were good, they were handed over to the Defense Ministry of Russia. The special thing about these planes is that they can carry cool weapons and drop them accurately on targets on the ground or in the sea. The last time they got new planes like this was in November 2022. Back then, the Russian government said these planes did well in the tests. These planes have been quite useful in the war they are fighting in Ukraine. The Russian government said that these Su-34 planes are a big part of their air force and help them hit enemy targets. One interesting thing is that these planes can attack Ukraine without going into the part of the sky that is filled with enemy weapons. This is because they can send their weapons from a distance. They can also fly very low, almost touching the ground, to drop bombs accurately. There was a video that came out recently showing two of these Su-34 planes dropping big bombs really close to the border with Ukraine. But these bombs missed the targets they were supposed to hit. People think that the bombs they used were meant to be dropped from low heights. These planes are using these special kinds of bombs because they are worried about the weapons that the Ukrainians have on the ground. The Su-34 planes are like a special treasure for the Russian Air Force. They have been using them a lot in this war with Ukraine. These planes, along with another type called Su-35, are the ones they use the most in the front line. What's different about the Su-34 is that it can be both a fighter and a bomber. It's like having two types of planes in one. These planes were first given to Russia in 2014. They are based on another plane called Su-27, which is really good at fighting other planes. But the Su-34 is even more special. It has a radar that can spot things on the ground and help the plane fly without crashing into the land. It can also carry a lot of fuel and fly with a lot of heavy weapons. One cool thing about these planes is that they have two seats for the pilots. This is different from most planes that only have one seat for the pilot. The extra seat is for another person who helps the pilot control the plane and use its weapons. These Su-34 planes are heavy, and they can carry a lot of bombs and missiles. They're not as fast as some other planes, but they can do things that others can't. Even though they are big and heavy, they are still smaller than some other big Russian planes that are used for bombing. These planes are kind of different from regular fighter jets or bombers. They are a bit like both. They have a shape that's a bit funny, and that's why some people call them ducklings in the Russian military. They have extra surfaces on their body that help them fly better. These planes are really good for different types of missions. They can fight with other planes and drop bombs on the ground too. This makes them quite special. In some ways, they are better than other planes because they can do more things in one go. These Su-34 planes are a big deal for Russia. They can do two jobs in one plane, which is not so common. They are not the fastest or the lightest, but they are really useful in this war with Ukraine. These planes are like a mix of a fighter and a bomber, making them a unique and an important part of the Russian Air Force. That's all for today's video into the world of advanced air warfare. Don't forget to click like and subscribe if you want to learn more interesting things about military invention. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.